Hey guys, welcome back, and I have a surprise for you. Actually, we found a tool, actually official tool from OpenTable, and if you notice, our form just completely disappeared from here because I was searching and say, hey, it has to be a way to test the OpenTable widget. So we found out a one here on the web on their website saying reservation widget for La Casa de Lucia, Philadelphia. So actually, this is not for a official restaurant. This is a testing tool, so you can copy the code and add on your website as well, just as a testing widget, right? So we're gonna have the opportunity to have the actual widget as we designed here on our website. Look at that. That was the idea since the beginning. We created our own custom form in the first class, but actually we spent a lot of time creating that they have their own stuff. I'm sorry for that. So this video actually is for the next section, but I'm adding this information here on the top so you'll be able to see how it works. So we have a embed code right here. This code represents this form. Okay, this is the actual functional form is working. So we're gonna copy this code and pass and add on Brizy. Okay, so let's copy the code right here. I'm clicking the button, copy the code, just to make sure it's copied. Now you see there's nothing here, it's completely blank. And then you're gonna use the same spot we use for our custom to use this one, to copy and paste this one. Okay, so let's just copy and just move this. Our tool here on the top is called embed tool. So let's drag right here in the center of this page and just drag inside of the box, inside of the container. This is a big box that is inside, but it do not represent the actual one because you have to pass the code. So click on the tool and click on the first option, and here you're gonna pass the code for the widget. You're not gonna be able to preview, to see it first. Brizy is still not giving you the option to preview, but you're gonna be able to see in the preview window. Okay, so let's update and let's go back to our window and refresh the page. Look at that. It's perfect. It's exactly what we're looking for. Look at this one from Photoshop and look at this one right now, a real working functional reservation software. Okay, this application should be at the center of the box. So let's do it. Just click here and select the center. It's right here. Just push to the center, and now is 100%. So let's use less than that, so the object, the widget, can move to the center. As soon as you start making the widget smaller, it starts moving all the way to the center. Since you're using 100% of the entire space, sometimes you can't see the widget moving to the center. So let's use 70%. 70% of the widget area. Let's update. We can't see here, but you can see on our preview window. Let's refresh the page. And here we go. That's it. 80%, 70%, excuse me, and then at the center of the box. So that's it. This is exactly what you're looking for since the beginning. So I'm sorry for that. We had to we had to do the whole thing, the whole custom form. But this one is actually the right way to do. We just figured out, and the link of this one is going to be on the description below of this video. Okay. All right. So let's move forward to the next video, actually to the next section on this video, just to make sure you have all the information in place. And doesn't matter if the height of the widget is not completely 100% on the builder, but on the website is 100%, is on the same space, the same alignment. I think I just need to push a little bit to the left, this guy here, just to make sure is properly in place. All right, so let's move to the next section here. Let's go back to our Photoshop, and this is the section we're looking for. So this is the final section of this this video. We're going to concentrate in building this area right here, right now. Okay, so based on that, we have two situations here. We have one situation, actually we have two ways to do it. The first way is two columns. So let me paint for you so you can see it. Column number 1, okay, and column number 2. This is 1, and then this is column number 2. This is one way to do it. The second way to do it that you can definitely do on Brizy as well is do a line number 1 with 2 columns. So this is the column number left and right, and then the line number 2 with 2 columns. This is another way to do it. So you have 2 containers, 2 lines with 2 columns each, or you have 1 column and a second column with 2 lines inside. Okay, what I would prefer now at this point is create 2 lines, 2 rows, 1 row, 2 columns, second row, 2 columns. So this is the way I think we should go, with 1 row on the top and 1 row at the bottom. Okay, so let's do it. Let's move forward and let's do it. So what are the elements we need to bring from this section all the way to WordPress and to Brizy? So we have one picture, we have 20% off, we have a button that is already there, we don't have to bring from here, and we have a PNG picture right here, and you have the elements they're gonna bring from open table. So technically speaking, we have 3 elements: this one, the picture, the 20% off tag, and also the pizza, the PNG pizza. So let's bring this pizza all the way to our 8 by 800 by 800. Let's remove this background from here. You can use any design tool you want. This Photoshop is the one of my preference, but you can use any one you want. Just don't worry about it. So let me just remove, because this picture has to go without any background. So let me try to remove the background from Photoshop. It looks fine. It looks okay for me now. It's not a big deal. At this point, let me just remove the whites from our picture. There you go. I'm just doing very quick and fast patch up here, so you don't have to do too much editing at this point. I don't want to waste your time here. So let me increase the size of this picture a little bit. Let's move all the way up, because I need it. This type of picture needs to be very tight to the limits of the file, so you have full control moving up and down. If you have too much space around the picture, you're gonna see that you're gonna have a trouble, technically speaking, with a lot of space up and down. For this type of PNGs, you should do it in a very tight way to the borders. Okay, so the borders should have a limitation in terms of space. So okay, PNG, let's save this PNG as a pizza isolated, right? So we're done with this one. Now we need to bring this picture here. So this is a white picture. Let me copy the proportion of this picture, like just a wrangling proportion. Let me do Control-C, and then let's do a new tool. Oh, sorry, we're copying the wrong area here. We need to make sure you're copying the picture. So I copy the picture right now, creating a new file, and then I'm gonna paste the picture. Now this is important. Increase a little bit the size of the picture. Go to 1200. Okay, it's fine. Then you go. Let's go push this quality down to 72, and let's keep 1200. Okay. All right. Awesome. This is our picture. The quality is not that perfect, but it's okay. Then let's do another thing. Let's do a export, save for web, and let's save a JPEG 50. Okay, just for now, it's fine. And let's put family as the name of the picture. Awesome. So I have the pizza. Let me delete this one that you're not going to use. I have the family. We have the pizza right here. All right, now we need to do the tag. The tag is easy because, and again, 800 by 800 is not a secret. So let's move to our 800 by 800 tag picture right here. So this is a JPEG. All right, so let me increase the size a little bit. Okay, I'm just increase a little bit, push all the way to the corner, and this is going to be another PNG. So let me go up, right? And let me export and save for web, PNG, and 20% off tag. All right. Now we have all the elements we need for this specific section. As I mentioned, two rows. Row number one, 2 columns. Row number two, 2 columns. Let's do it on Brizy right now. So now I'm going to bring another blank block. Let's do a row. Let's take a row from our toolbar, drag right here. We already have 2 columns, which is amazing. So let's just add a picture right here. Okay, not a problem. And then let's put this picture. Let's add our picture from our computer. And let's bring all the 3 pictures at once. All right. So let's bring the picture of the family. And let's give them 100%. No, height and widget. All right, this is our family. They're happy, they're eating, they have a very good time. I removed the space between, the gap between the sections, okay? Let me save it. I'm fine with that. Then let's take and remove all the spaces from these 2 columns. Let's go back to the design. See the design? The picture is very well attached to the second column. They are together, okay? How can you do this? You have a space, you still have space on the top, you still have space on the bottom, but the space between the pictures are very tight, so there's no gaps. How can you do this on Brizy? On Brizy, you can do this. Let's first remove all the spaces from every single element, okay? Every single one. Click on the element, picture, settings, more settings, and 0, just clicking right here, and 0 the space. Now you go to the container. Click on the corner of the container, settings, more settings, and remove the gap. 0 the gap right here. All right? So now I have no gaps. The container has no gap, the picture has no gap. All the elements are 0 gap. Let's go back and do the same with the other container. Click on the corner, settings, more settings, and then 0 in, all equal, and then 0 again. So all the elements, they are completely together. There's no gap at all. So let's find the color for the background of the other one, which is a specific color. Let's select here, and let's just copy this color. Let's go back to the Brizy, and let's go and put the color right here. So the background, the overlay color, just paste the code. Awesome, right here. So this is the box, 2 columns, 1 row. And this is the same right here. Okay, now let's go to the title, Italian Family Night. This is just regular business, right? So let's bring actually the title we already have here on the top. Let's just duplicate this one and add right here. The second thing is the text. Let's add this text, duplicate, and just add right here. Awesome. So let me paste the text from the title. So this is our title. Let me copy the text and paste right here. Awesome. And then let me go to the text again to have the same proportion of text. Not because I can just copy from other element, but I want to have the same proportion of text from my design. So let me align to the left, and let me align to the left as well. Amazing. Awesome. No problem at all. This is exactly what I'm looking for. Now let's go back to the template and let's find the button. We have a red button with some specific text inside the button. So let's duplicate a button from our Brizy. Let's duplicate this button here and let's move all the way here. Okay. All right. So this button has a lot of configurations from the other section. We have to clean up. Let's clean up this element. Click on the element, settings, and just clean up 0 in. Okay. There's nothing else to be done. Just the color, but let's paste the text right here. So this is the text you're going to use for our button. Okay, so let's just go back and let me just check if it's all caps. Yeah, it's all caps. So to do it very quickly, there's a website called convertcase.net. You just paste the text, do all uppercase, copy again, and go back to your button. All right, that's it, simple like that. Now the color of the button is important. So let's keep the same color from our previous project. So copy the color code, go back to your button, click in color, and just paste the color code. And of course the text, oh, the mouse over. Again, mouse over, same color, just a little bit darker. Make sure the text is white. Text is white, and the text is white. All right, so we have the button, the text, and the title. Now, how can you organize everything inside of this box? Because they look like kind of messy, right? So how can you organize and proportionally organize, by the way? So the title is a little bit bigger than the other titles. Let's do maybe 42, right? Okay. Now, inside of the box, we removed all the spaces between the two columns, but we need space inside of the container, okay? Inside. So click in the options on the corner, go to settings, more settings, and the margin, you're gonna make the margin all the way better. Okay, look at this. This is our margin, okay? This is one option. You can use the padding as well as an option. Look at this. So let's use the padding, and let's go back to our design. How much space? It's very centralized. They have a lot of space here. So I think visually speaking, we can push all the way to 36 maybe. Yeah, 36. But here on the top, we need to push all the way up. So let's keep 10, the top, 36 in the center, 36 at the bottom. Let's see the bottom. Yeah, the bottom is kind of centralized as well. So let's keep 10 at the bottom as well. All right, so 36 on the sides and 10 top and bottom, okay? Now here, this button should be on the left as well. And we need some spacers here. Let's add some spacers. I love spacers because they help to create the design and the template I'm looking for. Now the final step, what it is, centralize everything in a horizontal way. Okay, so click here, corners, and then you can see the content, it's all the way up. Let's push to the middle. Look at this. Now it's pretty much done. So now we have to add the badge here on the top, in between the two columns, right? So the second thing right now is actually the final thing for this part is adding the picture. And on Brizy, you can do this very easily. You just add a new picture here on one of the columns. I'm gonna pick the right one. Then we're gonna add the picture. Let's add the 20% off. So it's gigantic, it's not a problem. Let's just extend a little bit and make very small, the size we want, right? Now it's centered in one of the columns. Let's push all the way to the left. Okay, it's fine, but this is not how it looks like in our template. It's in between, right? So let's go back to Brizy, click on the picture, go to settings, more settings. Now, the position should be absolute or fixed, okay? It's your call. If it's fixed, it's gonna be visible through the entire navigation. If it's absolute, it's gonna be available only for this section, okay? So for this example, we're gonna use the absolute option. After selecting absolute, you're gonna go to the picture and increase the picture the size you want. The second step is pretty much moving the picture on the position you want. So the size is correct, just go to the settings, more settings, and then the position in the horizontal offset settings, you have to bring all the way to the position you want. So this is the place we want the picture to be on the desktop version, okay? You have to make sure that this position is correct under the desktop and all the other resolutions, because this guy is probably going to move a little bit depending on the size of the screen. That's why a lot of people just choose to put this picture on the left like this, on the top of the picture. So it's not, don't have to think about all the different resolutions and screen sizes. However, design is the difference between the pricing you're charging, the service, the customization, the ability to create different things, not just the same thing everybody do. So basically, this is one of the examples that your design is different than the others, because you're taking care of a level of customization that most of, like 80% of the other designers, they don't care, because they just want to do the easiest way. Sometimes the easiest way is not that custom. So you have to make sure you're offering the best solution. Offering the best solution always come to getting more money, actually charging more, because it's customizable at the limit of your clients. Okay, if you receive that PDF, the PSD, the Photoshop file from a different designer, and you say, hey, you have to follow this. This is the way to do it. Okay, so let's increase a little bit the size or decrease. Let's just double check, and that's it. This is our tag, 20% off tag. Let's go back to the Photoshop. It looks very similar. I can say like 89, 99%, 95% maybe. That's it. This is how it looks like. Let's go to the second row. The second row now is the functionality of the open table. So let's refresh. Actually, let's refresh the browser just to make sure the browser is correct. Here we go. This is our family night. We have the gap here. I'm fine with that. I'm not worried about this gap. It's working fine. Let's keep moving. Okay. The second row could be a row connected to this one. Let me duplicate this guy so you can see it can be something connected with the same row under the same section. Let me open the section panel here. So this is our fourth section. So under this fourth section here, we have two lines. Or you can create a second section just for this specific element. Creating a second section is going to be like this. Let me create a second section. Create on. Let's just move this guy all the way down. So now I have two sections. They are independent, but they have the same. They belong to the same place. I can just change here on settings, more settings, and I can push this section all the way up, and I can push the margin all the way up as well. And still, look at me, listen to me, it's still a different section. It's not, the two rows do not belong to the same section. They are two independent sections. Look at this section from the bottom, section from the top. And if I delete this guy here, we have just one section. What the benefit of having this? You have more properties if you create in a different section. But if you're not worried about property at this point, if it's just a matter of adding a picture and the functionality of from open table, you're completely fine just doing this. The thing is, we have the color of the background expanding and the color of the background at the bottom expanding as well. So we can use the choose section option. So that's what you're going to do right now. So let me undo. Now I have the two sections now, and I know the background is gray on the top, and the background from the other one is of this color here. So let me copy this color from the box and let me extract from the background of the entire section. Let me just paste, and here you go. Now I have the section with all the space and all the background completely. It's a completely section. If I want to change that and just keep white, it's up to you as well, because you have a white gap on the top. If you want to have this gap, you can definitely have it, just stretching all the way across the board. But I think at this point, at this moment, having the picture and having the two sections combined but separate by color maybe is going to be the best option, the best alternative. So let's copy the gray from the bottom section. Let me copy this gray here, and let's add the gray color on the background of this one. All right, so now I have this pretty much done. The only thing I'm gonna have here is a picture of a pizza, and here I'm gonna have the functionality from open table. So let me delete this picture here. I don't have the picture anymore, I don't need it. Let me delete the titles. Let me delete the button as well. Let me change the color of the background to the same gray we were using here, and let me delete this picture from here. Now I need the open table functionality right here. So let's go back to the open table website we looked before, and this functionality here is going to be the wide. Here we go. This is the one we're going to use it. So this is the one we're going to use it at that specific area. So let me copy the code for this one. Let's go back to Brizy, and let's add the embed functionality, the embed tool, and let's paste it. All right. So now we're gonna add not the spacer, but the picture. And let's add the pizza picture right here. Let's add the picture. The PNG is right here. And let's make sure the size is proportional to the to our role. So let's move this picture up. But before that, we have to see the real size of the open table functionality, the open table widget. So let's go back and refresh our page. All right, here we go. So this is a very thin widget. Is not that big, to be honest with you. Based on our first template, is not that big because they don't have these tabs here anymore, I guess. Find the table, your details. I don't think they have that available at this point. So we're gonna use whatever they have, which is authentic from their technology. Even though if they don't have that available, is because they updated the widget we're using on the template, and that can happen anytime. If you're using a widget from a different company that you have zero control on it, you have to use the authentic, the updated version. So let's move to the widget using the latest version and just make sure it's updated on the template as well. Okay, so let's go back to Brizy. So this is the reality. This is actually the reality. So the pizza picture actually is higher than the widget itself. So you have to figure out if you're going to use the picture or not. And at this point, to be honest with you, I don't think is a good idea to use the picture. But let's try to use at least, because the picture is probably going to be this size comparing to the widget. It actually it doesn't make sense visually speaking. And this type of challenges, you're definitely going to face it. So let me just move this picture up and see how it looks like in real life. But you know, the space we have at the bottom of the previous bar, previous row is not that big. So let's just update and see how it looks like in real life. I don't think it's gonna look good at all. Let's see. It's the functionality is not there. I don't think this is the solution for this. So you're gonna kill this pizza picture here. Let's just remove, not a problem. And let's just remove this row as well. So everything's gonna become just one row under the entire section. Let's update and check again. See how it looks like in real life. So if it looks good, see, it's extending a little bit. See, so this is another call we have to make it. We're working side by side with the client. We don't have to use this button because we have the functionality at the bottom. So let's remove this button from here. This is going to be like pretty much a call to action for the bottom, for the bottom part of the solution. So let's move this form below the text and see how it looks like. Okay, below the text. Let's update and refresh our page. Let's see how it looks like. I think it's gonna look good, to be honest with you. See, way better, right? It's way better because the functionality is right below the text, which means is a pretty much a call to action, but with the functionality of the reservation. So it makes much more sense for me. So okay, so we have the functionality here. We have the gap. This spacer here, I don't think is necessary. But anyway, we can push this picture down a little bit. So we can delete this section. We don't need this section anymore. And then we can push this functionality. Actually, let me give some space here and see how it looks like. Let's update again. And just, we already have a space here, I guess. I think this space is going to be much bigger if we refresh right now. You're going to see it. And then, to be honest, we don't have to use, yeah, it's way bigger. So let's delete the spacer. We don't need the spacer here. Let's just delete the spacer. Just keep the functionality here, the widget here. And let's transform this guy into a white background again. So then we can visually see that this box has is independent from the entire section. So let's refresh again. So you're gonna look more balanced. You're gonna see this way better. See that? So it's way better. So we have this bunch of space here. I don't know why we have that, but it's probably because we don't have anything below that. Let me just check if we have anything here. Let's zero in this guy as well. take the spacers. You know what? Let me add the spacer here. Maybe we have something we're not seeing. And this one, let's do 100% and make sure it's 100%. And let's just move and update it. Sometimes the widget brings a lot of information, but this space here was not supposed to be here, but it's here. See, it's weird. Why does this space, all the spaces looking here? So let's figure out the problem. There's a problem here. So let's delete this spacer here. Let's move this content on. To be honest with you, let's do this. Let me add a row inside of this guy. Let me delete this row right here. Let me move this row outside. I don't need this container. So let's move the widget inside of the row. So now we have a row and the widget is inside of the row, inside of a container, okay? So the pink container here and inside the container is our widget, is our open table widget. Let's update and see if this will solve the problem, this extra space right here. Still not solving the problem. So this problem is right here in the settings. We don't know. Okay, let's just clean the space here. Still not clear why that is happening. But anyway, let's just update and see how it looks like now. Because this space here, this gap, it doesn't exist. Let's just refresh. And it's still showing, still going all the way down. I don't know why, but probably it's because of the functionality of the calendar. See, the calendar is pushing. Maybe they need more space here for the calendar. That is interesting. So let's do this. Let's go back to the main idea of having a separate line. Let me add a row right here. Let's add the functionality right here, the widget. Let's delete this one. Let's just keep one. Let's delete this box and we have anything else here. Okay, so let's update and see. But I will add another section here just in case and paint in a different color, so we can definitely see the limit where the row starts and when the row ends, okay? And let's keep like this. Let's just refresh the page and see how it looks like. Maybe the functionality is forcing, see the space right here? So the space is pretty much because we need to open the calendar. And this is a functionality that will take space. Doesn't matter what you do here, the functionality is forcing the template to go all the way down and have this much of space right here. Can you see the amount of space the widget is using on your template? So this amount of space is exactly what you should not have on your template, because you cannot fill the gap. You cannot fill the space. The space is going to be here. Doesn't matter what you do, because the function, the widget, is forcing it. So we're not going to use this functionality right here. Is another decision we have to make it on the fly. So let's delete it and let's bring another solution. So what is the other solution we can have it? So let's check the options. We have the tall and we have the standard we're using already, and we also have the button. It's just a button. So let's copy this button here. And let's see how it looks like right here under. So let's bring the embed functionality here, the widget, and let's copy the code from the button. All right, so now we have a button after the text, which comes back to our original version with the button, but it's a different button, different call to action. So let's use it. Let's refresh the page right now without this much of space here. Let's see how it goes. All right, so still a lot of space, is a pop-up, but it looks nice, it looks fine, it's not a problem. See the tabs here, they're a pop-up, it's fine, no problem. So let's go again and make this guy longer, okay? Visually speaking, we should have at least a 20-30% increase in the size here. So let's increase the size. All right, let's update and let's refresh the page. It's probably gonna work. Oh, almost there, a little bit more. So let's increase the size a little bit. Let's refresh the page, update, and refresh the page. Let's see how it looks like now. Almost there, just a little bit, just a notch, a little bit. Let's push a little bit more. All right, let's update it. And it looks a little bit bigger than our template, but the functionality, the widget is forcing us to change gears on the fly. So this is what is happening now. So yeah, is it reserved now? It's not looking perfect, but it is what it is. It is the widget our client is asking for. So now we have to do something. Let's click on the widget functionality, embed functionality. Let's go to settings, okay, more settings, and let's kill the gap between the spaces. And now is maybe the time for another space in between. So let's reduce the size and have a space in between the text and the widget. Okay, I've saved. Let's refresh and see how it looks now. All right, it looks nice. It looks nice. It's not the perfect section like as we imagined before, but again, the functionality of the widget, you have no control on the top of that. So it's easy for you to adapt based on the widget you have. So let me delete this section below. Was just for an example, and this is our section right now. It took a little bit longer. This is important. I really love to do and record classes with something that I never touched before, because we have to find solutions on the fly. So this is a real time. I just cut a little parts just to don't spend a lot of time researching, but this is actually the real situation, the real solution for this problem. Okay, so this is our section. Let's go to the next one. Let me check the design. Yeah, we have the menu. This is going to be very simple. Then you have another one. This is for business. So it's just copying and duplicating the same one. Then you're going to finalize with the products and the wines. All right. So thank you for watching until here. Love it, this one. I like the challenges. I really like the challenges. So you have to figure out how to solve the problem once and for all. All right. Thank you. Let's go to the next class.